I'm Barbara Levin. You're about to meet Shirley Resnick, who was born in 1930 and lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Shirley has the distinction of being the only survivor of the original grandchildren of Elchonon and Taubeleah, the matriarch and patriarch of the entire SQ family. She is not the oldest descendant that we have in the SQ family, but she is the only direct descendant. Let me explain. Elchonon and Taubeleah, the matriarch and patriarch of us all, lived in Tels, Lithuania. They had 10 children: Gitamara, Benzion, Sarah, Chonafega, Yakov, Marcus, Abraham, Barney, another Marcus, and Charlie. Chonafega and the first Marcus died soon after birth. The second Marcus died at the age of 3. Shirley is the baby of the 3 children of Charlie, the baby of Elchonon and Taubeleah. Charlie, born Zalkin in 1889 in Tels, died in 1938. He had married Rose, born Rothka Berman, who lived from 1892 to 1988 and came from Romania. Charlie and Rose had 3 children: Sydney, Taubeleah, known as Lucille, and Shirley.
Yeah. I don't remember anything when I was really young, and after my dad died, we didn't do anything. 8 years old. And I was told all my life I wasn't expected and nobody was happy about it. Sydney insisted that my mother not go out of the house.
Oh my goodness.
To stay in the whole time once she started to show. And I said, what did he do? Tie you up? No, he just made me stay in. So I don't know how you make somebody do something. Okay. My mother was Rose Berman Shussin. And I can't tell you what year she was born because I don't know.
Sure. Wait,
I was born, first of all, you want my name. Shirley Ray Shussin Resnick. I was born August 9th, 1930 in Fergus Falls, Minnesota.
Really?
That's where my dad and Mr. Lockett had their factory. And when I was 1 year old, they moved back to Minneapolis. They lived in Minneapolis before I was born because Sydney and Lucille were born, I guess, in Minneapolis. So I was the only foreigner. I understood they used to speak to each other in Yiddish until Lucille and Sid knew everything they were saying. They switched to Romanian. Now, I don't know how my dad understood.
You were eight when your father died, but do you think they had a good marriage?
No.
No? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I was 8, so how much did I know? But when I think about it, times, my mother and dad rarely talked to each other. We would be sitting 3 feet from her, and my mother would say, "Tell your father."
Oh, that's hard for a little girl.
I was there, tell your father person. Yeah.
But yeah.
Took me on Sunday mornings to Max and Helen Levine's house. And it had to be quite often, but there was a sunroom in the back of their house where we sat. It was very nice. It really was. It was a very nice house. And it probably still is. And they were across from Farwell Park, where
Really?
I learned to ride my bicycle.
Oh.
There are 100 falls. When he died, Lucille got the car
Mm-hmm.
and I got her bike. And
Wow.
there was nobody to teach me. My
Oh.
mother didn't teach me anything. And Lucille, she was too busy with the boys. She didn't have time to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, wow.
but I learned when I set my mind to something, I do it. Right, Kathy? Kathy's shaking her head up
Yeah,
and down.
absolutely. How old? Lucille was how many years older than you?
I'm not sure if it was 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
It was 17
Mm-hmm.
when I was born.
Oh, so.
Yeah. So that's why I think, he thought, how can my mother and father have sex? They're so old.
A second. Your name is Shirley Ray. Do you know where the Ray comes from?
Yes, my mother's mother was one.
Ah, I see. And do you know where the Shirley comes from?
I think it was a sister of my dad's, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I began to understand, like I told you before, I could understand Yiddish.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember much of it anymore. Every
Oh,
once in a while, I hear a familiar word
oh,
when someone is,
that's
speaking
nice.
to me.
That's so
But
nice.
yeah, and if you wanted to talk to Auntie Hypessa, she didn't speak English. You,
Really?
yeah, you had to speak Yiddish to her. So I didn't speak to her.
Well,
I realized in my old age how smart he really was.
you moved back to North Minneapolis. Where did you live? What street?
1108 Upton Avenue North.
And it's easy in North Minneapolis since it's all alphabetized.
Exactly. And
Yes.
that was called the Homewood District.
Wow.
It's from Farwell Park down to Xerxes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Xerxes is XER,
Yes.
whatever. Anyways, Homewood was a district that had a lot of no-nos, like no black people.
Mm-hmm.
The house had to be of a certain value. I don't really know what that was. And you had to take care of your house. Really, it was a nice area. All the homes were very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was 1 year old when they moved down
Yeah.
there. And they had built that house before they went to Fergus Falls. And it was rented the whole time they were up there. Now, I
Really?
don't know if they had many rentals or one. I have no idea.
Your your dad must have been very successful.
He was.
Yes.
He didn't keep up with his insurance.
Oh.
God for Mr. Lockets, because he took care of it. And then he told my mother, after the funeral, Rose, you're not without
Oh,
any.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I know. He was wonderful. He really was wonderful. Marvelous man to my mother. And so was his wife. And then when my mother and Auntie Fanny, her sister,
Mm-hmm.
went to the New York World's Fair, it might have been around 38, 39. I don't really know when that was. It was before the war, though. And I was housed at the Locketses.
Wow.
And they were
Wow.
very nice to me. Very, very
Wow.
nice.
Oh, were
I
they They were Jewish.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But they were, I guess, Russian Jews,
Mm-hmm.
not really observant. For instance, they didn't keep kosher, which, of course, my mother thought was a tragedy.
Uh-huh.
I liked it because the soup that we had that she made very often was with a part of a cow that isn't used, and people use it, and it had a lot of little bones, and I love that. I did, I really did. Sydney played violin in the Catholic Church. Married a Jewish girl. Sylvia Markovich was, no, not Markovich, something like that. Yeah, I loved her.
Lots of photos of my grandmother's garden and her tending her garden. I mean, just bushels and bushels of things.
And they had a cellar that you entered from outside.
Mm-hmm.
There were two doors that opened like this, and then there were stairs to go down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
She planned a lot of things.
You were in Upton. My grandparents lived on Queen, so they're just a block away.
1419, I think it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you are amazing.
Well, I absolutely adored your mother.
Oh.
Yeah. But our house burned. We stayed with your grandparents.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Your house burned. How did that?
I don't know. All I know is we ended up at Auntie Sarah and Uncle Abe's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea how that fire was.
The North Minneapolis, that was almost all Jewish?
Oh, there were. I'm just thinking about my school.
Mm-hmm.
The school always closed on the Jewish holidays. John hated was, because there were so many Jewish kids. But there were quite a few non-Jews as well.
I see. There was this to Lincoln Junior High?
That was next.
I see.
John Hay through 6th grade.
Uh-huh.
But through 9th, I was at Lincoln. And then after that, North High.
Yes. Wow.
When my mother came to this country, she was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Arthur was 9. He went to school. They stayed, I guess, with Auntie Fanny and I.
Mm-hmm.
No. But she was a chocolate dipper, candy factory. Because she was young, but she didn't speak English. So,
yeah.
And it was another Romanian who got her the job. He and his son owned the Homewood movie house.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was a character. On Saturday, everybody went to the Homewood Saturday afternoon for the matinee. And almost every Saturday in the middle of the movie, the lights would go on and the movie would stop. And there was this older man with someone that I went to school with. He had him by the collar of his shirt, and it was the same thing every week. Who's to mutter from this little bastard? Every Saturday. There were no mothers there, it was just kids. So I guess that must have been the end of the kids' Saturday at the movies. No mother answered, and he walked the kid down and out.
Wow. Every single Saturday.
Every Saturday. Who's to mutter from this little bastard? The little bastard was a nice kid. I liked him. Everybody liked him.
That's great.
A nice boy.
Well, that's nice you went to the movies. Do you remember how much it cost?
10 cents.
10 cents. Wow.
Our payment was 11 cents. It was a penny for tax.
Oh, wow. Your father's family was big. Your mother's family just was her sister and
her brother.
Her I
sister had 2. Sammy, who was a diabetic and would eat chocolate cake while giving himself, what is it they use?
Shots of insulin.
What, honey?
Shots of insulin.
Oh, insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And Anne never married. She had been engaged to a doctor somewhere out of St. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
My Auntie Fanny was with a strong voice and a strong hand, and for whatever reason, Anne got unengaged, and that was it.
Mm.
Were offers, apparently. I don't know.
When did you meet your
Harlan,
young man?
in August before uh, before the U started.
Ah,
So I think it was the beginning of September, but it might have been the end of August. I'm not sure. Anyways, I was going out with different people, and first he asked me to go steady, and I said, I can't. I have a date Saturday, and I have a date Sunday. So I said, if you're willing to wait,
till
okay.
Monday.
Yes, I can't. And I told that to my sister Lucille, who said, are you crazy? You can't ask a guy to wait while you go out with somebody else. I said, I did. And he said he was going to wait. Oh, she just thought that was amazing. She referred to him as a farmer. And the reason she referred to him as a farmer was he had a couple of classes on the farm campus in St. Paul.
Oh, all right, the egg school.
Yeah, so when he would come to the door, Lucille would yell, Shirley, the farmer is here. I explained to him. So he really loved Lucille.
Oh, yeah.
She's really like my mother.
Yeah. She married Eugene
Right?
Pukowski, and they had Rowene like a
Right?
year later or so.
Probably.
Yeah. And
But he,
and then died like 7 years after they were married, I guess. She was 26, your sister, when she died.
actually 27.
27. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But she was diagnosed when she was 24.
Wow.
So 3 years, it wasn't a life. It was horrible. Uh, and we lived with them
Yeah.
for the last 3 years because she was so sick, and my mother took care of her.
Wow.
She had every bad thing that you could have.
Oh,
Oh,
sounds awful.
Jean was wonderful, really, really wonderful to her.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I didn't like him because of Rowene, I had to like him because he took such good care of Lucille.
Well, medicine back then, it must have been horrible.
It was. She got burned from a what do they call it? Kath, what are they? Yeah, radiation therapy.
Mm-hmm.
She got very sick from that. I mean, that was very painful.
Yes.
And I don't know what or how that happened. It certainly wasn't her fault,
Yeah.
but it must have been the radiologist.
What year did you and Harlan marry?
1950.
Ah, nice. I have a beautiful picture of you and Harlan and my grandfather and your mother.
Wait. It was supposed to be Sydney.
Uh,
About 2 weeks before our wedding, he told my mother he couldn't come because Charles, Chuck, his son,
mm-hmm.
crawled under the couch, and there was a nail, and
Oh, no.
yeah, he really did
Oy.
it on his head.
Oh,
So, anyways, he said he couldn't come.
yeah.
So my mother called Uncle Abe right away, and he said, "Of course, he'll be glad to
yes.
do it."
And of course, he always had formal wear.
Tux.
Yes. I mean, leave it to my grandfather and your father always to have formal wear. But you've been married to Harlan for how many years now?
going to be 70 in August.
Holy moly.
Oh, that's a big.
That's wonderful.
People didn't live to be 70.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But you know, his mother was 103 when she died.
Oh,
And his dad was 57.
oi, oi. Well,
He had a brain lesion, and apparently it was inoperable.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was too bad.
I have to ask you because I don't see Harlan. Where's Harlan from?
St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Yeah.
And what is Harlan's back? Where is his family from?
His father was born in Boston, and his mother, where, honey, Russia or where? Lithuania.
Ah.
Lithuania.